What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In fact, welcome to the return of PCP Movie Night. That's right, we've had a few weeks off for the end of the year Christmas break, but we're back to kick off the 2026 PCP Movie Night season with the entire Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise. We'll be talking about all 7 movies from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World Rebirth, which just came out last summer. We got a great panel to talk about this, so let's bring them out, including Fable from One Collection Down. What's up, homie?
Station, what's going on, man? Off for the past 2 weeks, finally back, first live of the new year, and we're kicking it off with a big one, man. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, man. You know, we're turning the power off at the park, and we're letting the creatures unleash themselves tonight. One that is going to be unleashed very soon is the mighty Joe Corallo. What is up, homie?
Much, just here to talk about a lot of dinosaurs, I guess. Some old, some new.
He thought for 2 weeks to get that opening perfect, man. That's what Joe does. He's a writer. He's an editor. He's extraordinarily talented. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Speaking of talented, let's bring in the leader of near mint condition. It's the uncanny Omar.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me. I may have made a mistake. I thought I was in on this review, Tales from the Dark Side. So I'm ready to talk about Tales from the Dark Side.
Bro, let's do it. Let's just scrap everything.
Crappy Jurassic Park movies you made me rewatch. God.
I love how everybody says I made you.
You know,
Yeah.
when I asked you on my stream, I just asked you to come up with 3 comic books you would love to see Marvel publish. You're like, hey man, can you watch like 7 Jurassic Park movies?
It's not even. It's not
Like,
even exchange.
5 that you hate. And I honestly, I thought there were only 5. Like, I'm like, shit, I hated that one so much that I didn't watch the other ones after that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
these are fun. I'm sure we're gonna have fun. And then we got Brooks. Brooks is here. Brooks is always here to keep us positive and appreciative of cinema, right?
Usually. The thing about the franchises, though, is that like most franchises, it always hits that diminishing returns point. And I think this one, it does that definitely, but it's not like I've seen so many like just dog shit franchises at this point. I look at this one, I'm like, it's not half bad.
Don't you dare compare this to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Brooks. Come on. Brooks had such a terrible time watching through all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. It was my favorite thing I've ever done. Is make.
What was your favorite, Brooks? The original Texas?
Yeah, probably the first one. Yeah,
First one. Yeah.
First one's great. Second one also great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Brooks and Jelani being like against us about the second one, and I can't abide that. But anyway,
Second one's so good.
But we are talking about the Jurassic franchise. How did I watch them? We were talking about that a little bit before. I watched it on this Jurassic World Ultimate Collection that I have. This has the first 6, and then I even got Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Rebirth. So I have them all on Blu-ray. I got this on Black Friday for like $10. But
nice.
So I had them. I actually didn't have any of the Jurassic Park movies on Blu-ray, and I was like, this is a good opportunity just to snatch them up at a decent price and have them, for the future. I don't know how many more times in my life I'll watch some of these. But we're going to get into it. It all starts in 1993 with Jurassic Park, the first one. It cost about $65 million to make, which is kind of funny if you really think about it. And it has since made over $1 billion. And at the time that the movie released, if you were alive, if you were there, like we were, huge deal. Massive marketing campaign all over McDonald's, all over toy aisles. It was all over the place. And of course, dinosaurs, kids always seem to like dinosaurs, right? But this really hit at a boom of public interest into dinosaurs, right? Plus it's Steven Spielberg, John Williams score. It's a huge movie, and I vividly remember my movie theater experience. We went to the mall, which was a rarity because I was the oldest of 6 kids, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was a rarity for the whole family to go out for a night out, but we all went to the mall, to the food court, and then we went to the movie theater and we all watched Jurassic Park. And dudes, I don't know what it is, but there was something about reptilian entities that scare the hell out of me. Like I used to have nightmares about raptors and gremlins, and I'm not even joking. Sometimes I still have them. And as I'm watching through this franchise, that fear comes out. Like, even in the movies that I thought were absolute dog shit in this franchise, there are moments where I'm just like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no. Yeah. And I'm like Jelani in Jurassic World. No way am I doing anything that any of these characters do. But Jurassic Park was a very big deal. At the time, it was like the highest grossing film. It got upended by Titanic. Pretty big deal. Most of us remember that. What do you think overall, Fable? And then give us your rating. The first one, Jurassic Park. You out there in the chat, join along.
Oh, I'm right there with you, Robbie. I was the perfect age when this came out. I was 13 years old. I was totally into movies at that point. I was a dino kid myself. I used to order the magazines. I don't know if you remember those dinosaur magazines that they used to mail you guys, but I was subscribed to that. So when this came out, it was a big deal. Not only that, but Steven Spielberg, director that I just absolutely loved growing up. And I remember the movie theater experience vividly as well. I was just jaw dropped that they actually did it, right? We had never seen CGI like this before. And some may say since, right? Because CGI hasn't gotten, so much better than what they did in this movie. It's kind of astonishing in 93. And they were doing it in 92, right? Like they were in post-production probably the year before. So Just amazing. I think this movie is pitch perfect. It's one of those very, very well paced, very well acted, suspenseful. Has that Spielberg magic that I love. You know, kids on an adventure kind of thing. Um, yeah, I loved it then, and even watching it now, especially the probably one of the most iconic scenes in cinema history is when they pull up to the Brontosaurus and you see and you hear that freaking John Williams music just swell up so perfectly for that. And I'm still in awe. The Brontosaurus probably doesn't look as realistic as I remember. But I still caught the vibe, the chills seeing that scene. It holds up incredibly well. So yeah, I think this movie is a game changer. I think it's one of the rare perfect movies. I think it's one of Spielberg's best movies. So I can't give it any less than a 5.
All right, we start the franchise off with a perfect score from Fable, and I'm right there with you, man. And like, it was such a big moment. It was such an impactful moment, and there is use of CG, which at the time was very groundbreaking. But there's so little of it compared to the animatronics that it still holds up today. And the animatronics are amazing, done by Stan Winston, of course. And of course, I also forgot to mention it is based on a Michael Crichton novel where people were, before the novel even came out, studios were already bidding for it. He then got paid an additional $500K to come on and do the first draft of the script. So this dude just made some money off of Jurassic Park, right? But everything Michael Crichton ever did was adapted in some form or fashion. Usually successful, sometimes not, but Jurassic Park, definitely the biggest success of his career as far as his work being adapted. What about you, Joe? What do you think about Jurassic Park? What do you rate it?
Sure. So, kind of a little different for you because I'm just like a little younger. So I didn't get to see this in theaters when it came out, but it was an event for my family to go to my uncle's house to watch it on Laserdisc on his gigantic TV.
Hell yeah.
So it was like an entire, like it was like over a dozen of us or whatever, like at my uncle's house, watching this movie. And, that stuck with me. I remember this guy I went to elementary school with. So this was in like, I want to say in 3rd grade, he was just obsessed with Jurassic Park 2. And there was the toys, there was like the battle damage, like, what was it? The T-Rex or the Raptor where you could like rip off some of its like flesh on this side. Like that was weird, right? And
you could see the bones and the blood.
Yeah.
Dude, those were so cool, man.
Yeah, but like, so yeah, it's a special movie in a lot of ways for that. It obviously changed the game in a lot of ways. It's one of Spielberg's best. It's probably top 5 Spielberg, because it's not better than Jaws. So like right off the bat, it's like, it's definitely not the best, but like maybe it's in the top 3, like, but yeah, I am going to say I give this, a 5 you digs, because I'm about to go into some of the minutia that bothers me with this movie, and I didn't want people to be like, "Oh, Joe, come on, what are you gonna do?" Like, no, I'm giving it a 5. Don't worry. Like there's a few moments in the movie that the more times I watched it, just bothered me, and I'm sure other people might have like other things that are like, oh, it's good. Like, obviously, watching it like this time and in recent years, like, yeah, if you're watching a higher def version on a nicer TV, the CGI and the effects are more obvious. And like, but I'm not going to knock the movie for that. Like, that would be ridiculous. But it is funny, when you watch it as a kid and you see it in the theater the first time, like it really looked like so realistic, the way they did it. But 2 things that really bug me is, one is when they have to boot the power, but it's in like another like shed that they have to run. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's just like an excuse to get people to run around outside and get killed by dinosaurs or to like evade them. But it's like, what kind of park planning is like, oh, well, to reboot it here, you have to like go to this like shed here, like, and it could have easily been like adjusted. And so, you know, like you could write around some of that stuff and still make that happen. And I felt like another pass or something, they could have, you know, been like, oh, the main power source is already like there. It's, you know, there's a raptor by there. So the only one that's clear for now is that, like, fucking try a little bit. All right. I'm giving you my money. Try for me. And then the other thing that bugs me too, and this is a Spielberg trope. One of the things that keeps Spielberg from being like, I think, one of the best directors. I think he's like one of the best directors, but prevents him from being like the very best is he will opt for what an audience would like in the moment over something that makes the characters stronger. So at the end, when the T-Rex comes and saves them from the raptors, I cannot stress how much I absolutely fucking hate that. We watch these people fight tooth and nail to get through and survive, and then all of their agency is upended by like, oh, what a coincidence, let's go, guys, like, get the fuck out of here. That was crazy. Like, you know, if something like that, like, and it's weird, and I get it, it's one of those things that shouldn't have happened in the movie. But Spielberg loves those like audience reaction, like that's like a scene that people like go away and talk about, but it undercuts your characters and their struggle. And I don't like that in the movie. And it also adds other things, like you made such a big deal about how the T-Rex you could hear coming like a mile away, and like the T-Rex sneaks up on them and like, you know, but not only sneaks up on the people, sneaks up on the raptors like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's a ding at the end of the movie that didn't need to be there because it was for a big audience, you know, oh yeah, let's go, let's see that. But it undercuts the world building. It undercuts the characters. And it's just a very poorly executed moment in an otherwise incredible film.
All right. A couple little nitpicks there, but a perfect score from Joe regardless. You know, one of the things I always thought about the movie was the T-Rex enclosure, right? Mm-hmm. They show that the goat's there. I mean, the T-Rex is standing there. But then when they get in there, there's like a giant ledge that goes down into like
yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
Just a little weird, but whatever. Yeah. You know, they could have been a different section.
Adult selves will catch all of that, but kid selves,
yeah.
When you see the T-Rex roaring and the fucking sign floating past them and shit, I was like, yeah, I was one of those people, Joe. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Dude, that was like a stand up and clap moment in the theater. I remember that. The biggest pops for that moment, and when the lawyer gets eaten on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves that moment. Especially when Jeff Goldblum delivers that line so perfectly, you know. Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah. Omar, what about you? First Jurassic Park, what do you think about it? What would you rate it?
This was one of those movies that I went to see in theater as well, and I remember getting so ready for it. I think the Sci-Fi Channel had just launched about a year or two before the movie came out, and they were doing some behind the scenes, like getting people ready for it. And it was the first time we had seen claymation replaced by computer generate like graphics, right? And I didn't know how well that was going to work. I was, you know, I was in high school when this movie came out, and I thought, well, I don't know about this, man. Claymation's the way to go. There's no way they're gonna make it look as good, dude. I remember sitting there in the theater, and I was just blown away by how real I was like, oh shit, they really brought back dinosaurs like to make this movie. And I remember like that was the talk of like genetics class and science class the next year, because it was like, could it be possible to actually bring back dinosaurs if we extract the DNA and things like that? I was accepted into this summer programming for a university here, and that's all we kept bringing up was like, is it possible to bring back dinosaurs? And Joe is right about the end scene, but that also, when the banner falls, Jurassic Park on the T-Rex, that was a badass trading card. I don't know if y'all remember the trading.
I do.
That was the one to get, man. That was a cool trading card. And there is actually a connection between Dino Riders and Jurassic Park, because the toys that, what was it, Tyco and Mattel were making for Dino Riders, some of the molds were used later on for the Jurassic Park line. That,
nice. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think it was the same. It was either at the same.
I think those are the Smithsonian dinosaurs too, right? Aren't they? I think like there's like
Probably,
a line
man.
of just dinosaur toys, and I think those were the ones they used for Dino Riders too. So
yeah,
man, the
I
more
love
you learn
it.
about toy history, the more you learn they just keep making us buy the same shit over and over again.
Oh yeah,
It all goes back to Dino Riders.
That's right. That's right. I don't give a shit. There's no Brontosaurus. It will always exist in my mind. But yeah, no, I loved it. It was a perfect movie. I love the score.
Yeah.
The dialogue was funny. It was lots of action. It's a 5 out of 5, man. I love this movie. This is one I rewatch all the time. And it almost makes me want to go watch the new movies whenever they use the John Williams score at the very beginning for the trailers. I'm almost suckered into thinking, maybe, even when they reunite the goddamn cast, I was like, oh, this will be the one. No.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. Well, I'm sure we all got some thoughts about Dominion. 3 perfect scores so far, 3 for 3. What about you, Brooks? What you sitting on? What do you think?
Yeah, like I remember this movie like as a kid, like it was huge, and like when I was a young kid, like kindergarten, like early elementary, I remember like that was kind of the big dinosaur pop, where dinosaurs became like the marketable thing. Like every kid was talking about dinosaurs, like you'd learn about dinosaurs in school, like and we like there was still like they were still discovering a lot of things about dinosaurs, like they hadn't figured everything out, like the idea that dinosaurs were birds was like a big deal in this movie, like because we'd always been thought of them as reptiles.
Bro, there was talk at my church for people to boycott this movie because it was like Satan's work to convince people evolution was real.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I'm like,
that's good marketing. That's
Barry
good.
and Bones. He's such a trickster, that Satan, isn't he? But yeah, like I remember, another thing I remember is like the Velociraptor was not as popular a dinosaur before this movie. Like when I was a kid, like it was always the Brontosaurus, the Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus. But like once this movie came out, like Velociraptor was like everybody's favorite dinosaur all of a sudden.
Oh,
like you appreciate how dangerous it is in these movies, not because it's necessarily powerful. Like they are fast and they are powerful. But like the fact that they're so smart is what really made them more scary than like even the T-Rex, because I like if I had to deal with like a T-Rex or 3 Velociraptors, I'd probably take my chances with a T-Rex, to be honest.
right, yeah, no kidding, dude. Raptors, they terrify me, dude. They terrify me. That's just the way in the first movie they do such a great job when he's talking to that kid, scaring him. Sam Neill is in the beginning. Scaring him and like explaining that you're still alive when they start to eat you. Yeah,
so your
and
guts
like
leak out while you're still alive.
That kid from Dream Warriors, I hate that kid.
yes.
Not
He's the Dream
Warriors.
Child. He's the Dream Child.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's like it has a lot of commentary on the whole kind of dinosaur pop, and like how the marketability of dinosaurs was like everywhere. Like the whole idea of John Hammond doing all this stuff is kind of like he's basically kind of exploiting this science to market this park. And I think John Hammond, like I think he has good intentions for the most part, but like Hammond is very much a con man. Like he's very, like you can tell he's a huckster.
Have you read the book, Brooks?
I never read the book, oddly enough.
Hammond is way more on the evil side of things on the book. Like he's way more of like that super greedy. He's just trying to make money kind of thing. Yeah, whatever it takes. Yeah, he's more like the mustache twirling villains at the later end of this series, right? Where they basically become Bond villains. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely, I could tell, like, Hammond has softened up a little bit in this one because, like, he's presented as kind of this kindly old man. I think the fact that they brought his grandkids in kind of like helped with that because, like, he has personal stakes when like things start going wrong. But yeah, this movie is a lot of fun though. Like, even after all these years, like, even knowing everything that happens, like, it's just a ride. It's like, it's a great ride. So yeah, I give it a 5 as well. I can't say, I just don't know how it could be any better, really.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie, but it's a very important movie, and it was a very important movie to cinema, to American culture, and to me personally. Right? I just loved it.
How it could have been better. I remember as a kid walking out of the theater and talking to my friends. Where were the pterodactyls, man?
Oh yeah,
that's what we
There's
were
always
missing.
one dinosaur that you're like, oh, where was that dinosaur?
Technically, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs.
You could go to hell.
Yeah, but I remember that. But I remember that made sense to me because they
Joe's
could
always
just
a
fly
rain
off the
cloud
islands.
at the orgy, I swear.
One of the reasons why in the Lost World, one of the first dinosaurs you see is a Stegosaurus is because that was the most mail they got was about where's Stegosaurus, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what's crazy is that the raptors became so popular, but in actuality, what we found out is the raptors were very small, and the Dilophosaurus, the one that spits, which that's completely fabricated too. They didn't do that and have that little sail thing, but they were actually bigger. They were more like raptor size. So they made them smaller in the movie so they wouldn't compete. For some reason, I don't know, they switched their sizes, but whatever. It's not super scientifically accurate. But one of the things I loved about the movie was it was written in a way kind of like how Michael Crichton writes his novels, where the science seems like it would work, right? Even though it still feels fantastical and very rooted in science fiction, it still gets explained in an easy enough way for even a layman to be like, oh, that makes kind of sense to me. I can get that DNA from mosquitoes and amber and all that stuff. And the movie has a nice pace to it. I think all the performances across the board are good. Even the kids. Kids are not annoying in this movie. They're actually really interesting. And all three of our main characters are great, especially Sam Neill. Who doesn't love Dr. Malcolm, right? And trying to flirt around with, what's her name? What's her name?
Dern.
Yeah, Laura Dern, right?
Yeah.
From Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart's Laura Dern. So the cast is great. I think the story is solid. I think it's so much fun. The special effects, the music, it's iconic. I'm right there with everybody. Perfect. 5, you digs. Boom. Wow. See, a franchise that starts with an all 5 movie. That didn't happen on Police Academy, if you remember, a couple of years ago.
And shout out to the sound design, because we talk about the CGI, but the sound design.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely.
The T-Rex roar.
Just as iconic. The T-Rex roar.
Yeah, it's like a crocodile and an elephant and something else, like kind of all put together.
The
man,
raptors squawking, that whatever the hell they do, that clicking noise.
It's really scary when with that sound they make when they go, Alan. But we're not there yet. All right, a little bit afterwards. So what is this? 1997. Yeah, 1997 sees The Lost World, Jurassic Park, the sequel. It was very highly anticipated. I remember this being a huge deal. Michael Crichton actually wrote a novel. He had never written a sequel or a follow-up. He didn't really want to do it, but I mean, the money was there. So he wrote Lost World. They did the movie. Spielberg came back to do it. It was very, very successful. It had a bigger budget of like $75 million. And it made $618 million. It was a big deal. Just as much marketing, just as much push, less of a positive response from critics and fans. I remember some people liking it. I remember thinking it was okay. It dived down. It gave me a little bit of what I wanted at the time, which was dinosaurs in the city, right? So you do get that bit of the T-Rex going through San Diego. I love the kid telling his parents there's a dinosaur in the backyard. I love the chain and the doghouse dangling out of his mouth. You all right there, Joe?
Yeah,
he just got by a raptor.
No, I did. I was fucking around with my camera. I shouldn't have done that.
But I remember thinking it was just kind of okay. And it was one of the first VHSs I had in my own personal VHS collection. Had a really cool cover. But anyway, I remember thinking it was all right. But on the rewatch, I really didn't like it. I really did not like it. I found it to be kind of dull and boring. And Jeff Goldblum, to me, I feel like he doesn't play the same Dr. Malcolm after the first one. And I get that he went through something traumatic and shit like that. And like in the book, he's like all high on morphine the entire time and shit like that. But like, I don't know. I do not like him. And like they have his kid. That kid's fucking annoying. That kid is annoying as shit. It's got some bits that I like. I love when they're going through that tall grass and the raptors are fucking snatching them up, dude. Like that's pretty cool. I like the T-Rex at the end. I like the dinosaur bits because the thing I love about all of these movies is the dinosaur thing. So I didn't actually have a bad time watching any of these movies. Well, one of them, but it wasn't this one. But I don't really like it that much. I think it's pretty weak, and I think it's one of the weaker ones. And I don't think Dr. Malcolm, honestly, Grant to me is the character that should have been utilized more often throughout these movies, I think, because he's really good. Sam Neill is throughout every appearance, even in bad movies. But I think it's all right. I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5 is what I think. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What about you, Fable? What do you think about The Lost World?
I'm right there with you, dude. I remember being so hyped to watch this in the theaters. I was a huge fan after the first one. So I was ready for more. And I remember being so let down by this movie back then. And even, it's like Joe said, his nitpicks about part one are like magnified in part two. Like, you want to talk about getting contrived? This movie is contrived the movie. Like, especially towards the end when she fucking is on the roof with the raptors and then she falls, tumbles down a hole, comes out, her 2 people that she's been looking for are right there. Helicopters are landing, and it's like, whoa, you just, like Joe said, undercut the entire struggle of the fucking 3/4 of this movie. And then now we're going to get even dumber and take the T-Rex to fucking San Francisco, wherever they took this damn dinosaur in the city. Yeah. I thought that was so idiotic, even back then, and I was a kid back then. And on this watch, same thing. It's even more magnified because I can even spot more idiotic shit and contrived shit in this movie. I gotta agree with you, Robbie. It was my least favorite Jurassic Park of all of the Jurassic Parks. I feel like Spielberg took a check because it's not even Spielberg magic in this shit. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like you could have told me anybody directed this and I would have believed you because it doesn't feel like a Spielberg movie. He definitely cashed in, and I think he was like, I don't know, maybe he had a thing with the studio. He was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do a Godzilla joke in the middle of this shit with the Japanese people running out. Yep. I don't know. It was a mess back then. I feel like it's even more of a mess now. The only reason why it's not the worst to me is because I saw Jurassic Park Rebirth. So we'll get to that piece of shit. But I'm right there with you. I'm gonna give it a slightly higher score than you, Robbie. I'll do 2.5.
2.5 is fair. I think I was really harsh on it, but honestly, I'm going to stick with my 2. But 2.5 is good, man. And everything you said, I obviously agree with. What about you, Joe? What do you think about The Lost World?
No, Universal was so preoccupied with whether or not they could. They didn't stop to think if they should. So, and I mean, I remember being a kid. I went to see this with my grandpa, and we went for Burger King after. I still remember all that. And like, it was, it was a nice memory. The movie, even then, was like baffling. Like, I'm kind of like, what is this? Like, it didn't, like, so Fable, when going through Jurassic Park, was talking about the pacing. And like the first movie's perfectly paced, kind of like with Jaws. It's like you don't see the dinosaur, like the really violent dinosaurs until you need to, until the right moment. Everything's hidden. Here, the magic's kind of out of the bag already. So they're like, fuck it, let's murder a kid right before the credits. Like, weird shit like that. It's a weird note to start your movie, and it's just like all of it's baffling, and you're like, why is Ian going? He's there to save like his girl, what? Like, but she should know better because she should have talked with him. And it's like you're dating someone and weren't like, hey, look, I was at a dinosaur island already. Don't go. Like, it was a whole weird setup.
The whole movie.
You obviously didn't even read my book.
How stupid this shit is. He's telling them, he's like, this is not a good idea. This is. He said it at least 4 or 5 times, and they still do the stupid thing. Like,
it's wild. This is like for Spielberg. This is like going from like Godfather 2 to Godfather 3. Like, it's a real
I think Godfather 3
nosedive.
is better, man. But
Yeah, no, I get it, but I'm saying like just like a comparison of like the quality dip is somewhat comparable.
it's like
From
Superman 2
two movies,
to Superman 3.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Scream 1 to Scream 2.
No, Scream 2 is awesome.
Scream 1 is so much more brilliant than Scream 2.
Scream 2 is better than you remember. You're thinking of 3, man. I'm telling you.
No.
Anyway,
We should do a franchise review, but again, I guess. But what was it? No, so I also like feel bad because like Julianne Moore, this is like the second sequel she shows up in that's just dog shit. Like this and Hannibal in like a 4-year stretch. Like poor Julianne Moore. Like
She's in Boogie Nights like right around the corner though, so that redeemed her acting chops.
Yeah, no, just crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, the writing was kind of on the wall though, because I think a good litmus test for this, and I think we'll all agree, is how Alapalooza did as an album was really looked at as one of, and to this day, one of Weird Al's weakest entries, and it's in between Off the Deep End and Bad Hair Day. It's nuts that happened. But like, you know, why are you riffing on MacArthur Park, a fucking Richard Harris song for your like Jurassic Park song? It was so out of touch, and I feel like that like just perfectly mirrors what ended up happening with Lost World. You know, I mean, Smells Like Nirvana, like people still reference that.
it's true. So what did you rate the film?
I guess it's yeah, I guess a 2.
Okay.
Like it's really like it's especially because it's from Spielberg.
Yeah.
It's like I almost feel like giving it, like I was thinking 2.5, but then I'm like, fuck you, Spielberg. You just did good movies recently, and then this happens. You know, like that's fucking crazy. So,
Yeah, it is one of his worst. Jurassic Park's one of his best,
absolutely.
and the sequel's one of his worst. Absolutely. What about you, Omar? Lost World, what you think?
I was a little older when this one came out. I was in college and knew a little bit better. And by that point, a lot of studios and also directors had been using CG. And I dig this one, actually. I rewatched it again. It does borrow heavily, of course, from King Kong. You know, you start off on the island and then you go to the city. And it's very in your face about that. They're not hiding anything. I really like the idea, like the deaths, the Velociraptor scene with the tall grass. That's pure cinema. I loved it, man. Like you're watching that. And I think they kind of did something similar in The Mummy a few years later too, didn't they? Or Mummy 2 with the little guys that
the
were
scarabs, or
the little dudes that were hunting in the
yeah, no. I get it. Yeah.
But there was. Interesting enough, like I remember in the theater thinking, you know, we were coming out, I guess towards this was 97, right? This is the first movie I realized this happening in, that as I'm watching it, you know, we meet Dr. Ian's daughter, and you know, Ian Malcolm is a white dude, and she's black. They never acknowledge that, right? Like obviously she's adopted, or maybe you don't know, but it doesn't matter, right? Because in the 80s they would have said something about that, like what? How did that happen? and it was that point in the 90s when we were getting, I don't want to say fucking progressive, but it was just like it wasn't talked about. Just like there's also these characters within the movie that have a really tight relationship. That it's almost like it's supposed to be emotional when one of them dies and the other one goes after the T-Rex. And I think for the first time in the franchise, this is one that had like that almost like an unfair death. Like the lawyer got it coming, right? He was a sleazy lawyer. But the guy, what was his name? He was in he's the one that gets ripped apart by the
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
You're like, whoa, that's not cool, man. Like lawyers should go out like that. Not that dude. He was trying to help. I had a lot of fun with this one, rewatching it too, and special effects still stand out. Pacing is off a little bit. There's some goofy dialogue. I don't think there's, outside of the first one, I don't think there's any memorable dialogue from any of the other movies that I can remember. Well, I guess the Velociraptor thing kind of became a meme. I give this one a 4, man. I dug it. I liked it.
Nice. All right, a 4 for Lost World from Omar. All right, what about you, Brooks? Are we going to keep it positive, or are we dragging it down like those of us upstairs?
Well, I think some of y'all are kind of like a little bit too hard on this movie. Like, it is definitely a step down. Like this movie, it reminds me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. And like the first one, like, because when as my memories from a kid, like I really loved TMNT 2. I was like, oh yeah, man, like it's almost as good as the first one. But then I watched it again as an adult. And I'm like, no, it's nowhere near as good as the first one. And that's kind of how this movie was for me too. Like as a kid, like I loved it. It was like, oh yeah, man, that's one where the T-Rex goes into the city and he's fucking shit up, and like so like yeah, like I had fond memories of it, and it's still a pretty fun movie, I think, for the most part. Like, I do agree that Malcolm's character is a little different, but I always kind of felt that the character of Malcolm from the first movie was kind of putting on an act in a way. Like, it always felt like Malcolm was trying to, like, he was trying to present himself as this kind of rock star scientist. He's doing his sexy poses with his shirt open, laying down like a fucking Playboy centerfold and shit.
Yeah, this is Dad Malcolm, right?
Yeah, yeah, like this Malcolm is like more of a real guy. Like, you see he's like he's got a lot of problems going on in this movie. Like, his girlfriend is running off to almost get eaten by dinosaurs. Like, I get it, man. If Julianne Moore was my girlfriend, I'd be like, please don't go to the dinosaur island too. Like, I'd be like, don't Julianne Moore, please. He'd probably say something like, he's a good man, Jeffrey, and thorough. But yeah, this movie is still fun, but like after the first one, like the first Jurassic Park is just like such a good movie that it like casts such a shadow on all of the sequels. But this one, I think it doesn't fall too bad into that, so I give it a 3.5. It's a little above average for me. Like it's still pretty fun, but like I said, like it's nowhere near the first one.
All right. So we got a 2.
It does have the Stegosaurus, my favorite dinosaur in it.
Which one?
Stegosaurus.
Okay, word. So we got a 2 from me, a 2.5 from Fable, a 2 from Joe, 4 from Omar, and 3.5 from Brooks. It's like a PCP average of 3.
3.
We'll call it 3. 3.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm actually surprised at Robbie for saying this is the worst of the franchise.
I said it's not the worst of the franchise. There's one I hate more.
Yeah, me too.
No, I can think of at least. I could probably think of 2 more. I hate more than this one.
Everything after this one. All right, let's go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's get into it. 2001, July, sees the release of Jurassic Park 3. First one not directed by Steven Spielberg. It's directed by Joe Johnston. Joe Johnston, of course, coming off of movies like The Rocketeer. And, what was the other one he did right around that time? That was a big deal. Anyway, The Rocketeer was a movie, and I really liked it. And Joe Johnston was a big fan of Jurassic Park and told Steven, you do a sequel, I want to do it. But then when the time came to do a sequel, I guess Spielberg was like, I want some more of that McDonald's money. So he decided that he was going to do the sequel, but he told Joe, you got the next one. So Joe Johnston comes on, This movie was plagued with problems. Joe Johnston didn't really like the script, wanted to rework it, but he started filming before the script was complete. And even William H. Macy, you can see in the bonus features, he like even says like whoever's decision this was probably won't have a job for long. He was like, but it's not my business, you know. But like they didn't have a full script, and it's one of the reasons why it's the shortest out of the franchise. It's only an hour and a half. It's like slasher movie timing, right? And I remember when this movie came out, being excited to go see it because they brought back Sam Neill, Dr. Grant. Yep. To me, that's the core heart of the franchise. And I remember hating this movie when it came out. Thought it was the worst of those three. Watching it this time, I really liked this movie. I mean, honestly, I liked this movie so much. I was surprised how into it I was. I love the setup, right? The idea that Grant's conned to go back to this island. Yeah, it's got dumb shit, right? Like his little buddy who comes along with him stealing the raptor egg. Like, bro, you should know better. Like, what's going on with all this shit, right? But for some reason, man, and yeah, it uses CG, but it still uses some practical animatronics. But dude, the Spinosaurus was giving me like heart palpitations the entire time I was watching this movie. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I remember watching this movie in 2001. I'm 20. So I remember that snobby Robbie, full on snobby Robbie when I was 20. And I remember being like, what a doofy looking dinosaur. The T-Rex is fine. We don't need another bigger, doofier looking dinosaur. Man, that thing scared me. I loved it. I loved it. I loved this. I loved even Tail Leone screaming throughout the entire movie, doing nothing else. I even like the stupid little kid. I don't know. I really like this movie. And like the paragliding thing at the beginning freaked me out. Like, I don't know. I really liked this movie. Thought it was paced well. Thought it was cool. Even with the Raptor dream sequence, which I wish they would have kept going back to. Right? Yeah. And like padded like 3 sequences or something. That'd be great. I like it. I'm going to give this one a 3.5. I thought it was a solid movie. Which was the first time in my life I've ever thought that about Jurassic Park 3. But maybe it's because it was right after I was kind of disappointed in The Lost World. What about you, Fable? Jurassic Park 3, what you think?
Once again, Robbie, I'm right there with you. This movie I remember not liking. And this is the point where it was like, where Brooke said diminishing returns. This was diminishing returns for me back when I first saw it. I was like, okay, it's over. You know, they're not going to capture the magic of the first movie. The second movie was a letdown. Like I said, for me, this third one at the time for me was another letdown. So I was like, oh, it's over. It's over. But watching it on this go around, I got to say, I enjoyed it. It's not trying to do anything different. It is carrying all the tropes of the previous movies, which, let's be honest, all of these movies are a collection of action set pieces. Even the first movie, right? It's just like danger. How do we get out of this? Escalate. You know what I mean? Next thing is worse than the previous thing. And that's what all these movies kind of are. But this one kind of like starts like that and doesn't let up. It's just action set piece after action set piece. The next thing. And I enjoyed it for that. And that hour and a half actually is a benefit to the movie because of the way it's structured with just, you know, first we're here, now we're in the pterodactyl cages, and now this happens, and now this happens. The only complaint I have with this movie, I mean, besides being just giant moronic splendor, is the ending with the fucking raptors and, you know, give them back the eggs and shit. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Do you love how he uses that thing as like a fucking raptor call?
Tricks them like, oh, I guess they're raptors, please.
Like, how does he even know then how to speak? Like, he just, like, how does he know the nuance of, like...
Well, by then we had the internet, Robbie.
So, yeah.
I'm sure some 12-year-old is showing you how to do a life hack with them.
On a rewatch of this, I thought it was actually pretty decent, better than part 2, in my opinion. And had a more memorable cast for me. Like, because I don't know about you guys, but I totally forgot that Vince Vaughn was in part 2. And that shit totally like escaped my brain somehow. But Tia Leone and you said Macy, right? Macy's the guy.
William H. Macy.
You can always tell when they're made because of who's in it. right? Like Vince Vaughn and Julianne Moore were like the it actors in 97, right? Like Swingers had just come out. They were about to star together in Psycho, the remake by Gus Van Sant.
Yeah. And then getting back Hugh Grant, right? Hugh Grant is the favorite of probably my favorite antagonist of the whole franchise. So getting him back also. No, I like this one, man. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Heck yeah, 3.5 so far for me and Fable. What about you, Joe? What do you think about JP3?
People are going to start thinking we're doing a bit. I really like this.
Did you guys watch this together and share one big bucket of popcorn?
We played drinking game during it.
I had no idea. I really thought I was going to be the only one here being like, actually, 3 is kind of good.
Wow.
But the pacing is so much better. And like, it's actually doing something different. Like, it's a smaller scale thing. It's like a rescue mission. It's not about, the ramifications across the globe of dinosaurs. Like, it is actually a unique story that when you stack it up against all the other movies, it's different. It's really different from, all of them, really, because even ones that kind of overlap, like Rebirth or something, it's still a movie about the global ramifications of dinosaurs and escape projects and stuff like that. Like, none of that's here. It's just like, oh, we got to trick him to save her son. And it's stronger motivation. Like, what they're doing in Lost World makes absolutely no fucking sense. The motivation is obviously the strongest in the first movie because there's no experience with it before. They haven't seen any of this stuff before. This isn't a world where it's like, well, this is like the 4th time they failed to open up a park. Like, it's none of that. It was the first time. So that works. Lost World's a mess. The motivation in this and the smaller scale really benefits the movie and the shorter runtime. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm not saying it's flawless. Like, there's a lot of problems with this movie. There's like the stupid like Spinosaur or whatever, when it like throws itself through that like fenced barricade, but then they lock the door after that, and it's like, fuck, how do I get in there? Like, like there's that bit, and there's the like, why would the raptor like try to psych out someone by standing behind something and acting like it's in formaldehyde? Like, it doesn't know what formaldehyde is. It doesn't have a concept of how human eyes like it. It's like, what the fuck is this? But
it learned to open doors in the first one, Joe.
That's fair, but this was like, we're getting a little crazy with that. And like, it does suffer from like the Lost World did this, and then this does it even like worse, where at the very end they're like, fuck, everyone likes raptors, put some raptors at the end. It's all of these movies, it's like, you can't leave the island until you trick raptors. It's like, sure,
fine. Then eventually they just make the raptors the heroes, right?
T-Rex must fight, the raptors must raptor. That's
and then they save them, and then they get off the island, and that's it. There's no other bullshit. There's no other like, why are we not thinking about the ramifications of dinosaurs? And man, fuck that. It's just like, we're out. It's like a monster movie. Done. I also love how the first Jurassic Park movie is the only one to have anyone, I think it's Laura Dern's character, mentions like, but you can't replicate, like, we don't know what the atmosphere in the Earth was like 65 million years ago. You can never replicate that. There's all these other ramifications. And after that, they've never fucking cared about that since in any of these movies. And it's like such a really important fact that they need to know, but they're like, eh. So yeah. I think it's a 3.5. I think it's really good. I really like Jurassic Park 3.
3.5s across the board so far. I thought I was going to be the only one that liked Jurassic Park 3, to be honest.
I think you guys share the same bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, we did.
With a hole cut off at the bottom.
Yeah, step one, cut a hole in the box. All right. Omar, what do you think about Jurassic Park 3?
Well, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was a fun movie. I finally got my pterodactyls, which, according to Joe, the boner shrinker, are not real. I didn't know that. I didn't need to know that. I could have lived the rest of my life.
They did exist. They just weren't dinosaurs. They're technically a different kind of lizard.
Whatever. This is the movie, right? Where they're going to the bird cage or whatever, and the one gets on the the railway and
walks in
Yep.
and goes after the dude that you thought died, and then he comes back later. This is the movie with the trailer that freaked everybody out with the Velociraptor saying Alan because it was in his dream. And I remember watching that in the trailer going, oh my God, are they going to make the dinosaurs talk? Because that's so ignorant. But you know what? Yeah, I think Robbie said it earlier. There's just something really good about Sam Neill coming back to the franchise and being in it. He completely steals the show. He's an amazing actor, and he just makes everything better. You have Willem H. Macy. You're right, Taya Leone. I always liked John Deal, the bad guy. Like he's always he was in The Bodyguard. I can't remember what other movies back then. But he always makes for a great villain. I really like him. And Michael Jeter, that guy who passed away a few years back, but he's always a great actor. Laura Dern comes back for a little bit, and you're like, oh no, they didn't get together. That sucks.
Yeah.
I think for this one though, I think a 3, solid 3. Yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
And I think that's the point of these movies. They're supposed to be fun, and yeah, this one's fun.
This one is actually straight up more like a slasher, right? Not just in its length, but even in just how it's set up, man. It's
you all said it. You all said it. This is like a rescue mission. Forget all the science crap.
Yep.
It's now it's almost getting to the point where okay, we're just gonna make it nothing but action. This is gonna be a rescue mission, and we know what the audience wants. It wants more dinosaurs.
Absolutely, that's what I wanted, man. It was fun. What about you, Brooks? What'd you think about Part 3?
This movie's all right. I think this is kind of where, they kind of pinned down the formula of the Jurassic Park movies. It's this just has to be a fun adventure movie with dinosaurs in it. And it has some stuff I really like. I do like Grant coming back. I like Grant as the main character. He's still kind of this grumpy, almost Indiana Jones type. And I love that he ends up getting tricked into basically saving a child from dinosaurs again. It's but at least he only has to deal with one this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I don't think it's quite as entertaining as the second one, but it's just not far off, I think, But so yeah, I give this one a 3 too. It's pretty average, but still a fun movie. I think the whole original trilogy is actually pretty solid. It does dip a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's not like a swift downward slide. It's more kind of like a slight little fun little slide,
Yeah. All right. So 3.5s from us upstairs and a 3 from y'all downstairs. That's a PCP average of 3.369, which I think is pretty good.
It's better than the second one, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our averages are working so far. So so after Jurassic Park 3, the franchise took a huge break because this movie cost $93 million and only made $368 million. So not quite what they wanted. And we didn't get another one until 2015. That's Jurassic World. A lot of people think that's a start of a new franchise. So why not use this opportunity to take a quick break? And when we come back, Jurassic World and Beyond here on PCP Movie Night. right, everybody, welcome back to PCP Movie Night, the start of our 2026 season. We are celebrating by going over the entire Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise. We just spent the first hour talking about all three of the original Jurassic Park movies. Now we're about to move into Jurassic World territory. 14 years since the release of Jurassic Park 3, we had Jurassic World. This movie cost about $200 million to make, and it made $1.6 billion. I think it might be the highest grossing one. But these movies are huge, man. And actually, what's crazy is that the first one was huge. Second one, not so much. Third one, not so much. Jurassic World, we were ready for another one. I remember when it was released, I was so excited to see it. I was becoming quite a fan of Chris Pratt. I like, what's her name? Howard, Dallas, or is it Bryce Dallas?
Bryce Howard. Bryce Howard, yeah.
Oh, running in heels.
Yeah, right. Yeah. As long as you tie your shirt, though, you're good. But I was excited to see this, and I remember having some issues with it. You know, like I kind of thought the idea of training raptors was kind of dumb. Like I don't know if I really bought that, but whatever. It had some pretty cool moments where Chris Pratt's on his motorcycle and Blue and the crew are like riding along with them, and I'm like, we're getting close to Dino Riders territory here, y'all. You know, and I don't know, man. I like seeing my favorite thing about this movie, and at the time I liked it, but I had some issues with it. This time, like, yeah, there's some issues with the movie. There's issues with all of these movies, but this one brought back that sense of childlike wonder and awe-inspiring fun, right? And I love the fact, my favorite thing is that we see a fully functioning park, which we never got in any of these movies. And it's the only movie that we actually get that in. And I like experiencing what the park would be like with a bunch of people there. And I like the story of everything going off. I always forget Vincent D'Onofrio's just randomly in this fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. There's a lot going on. A lot doesn't seem to make sense. But one of my favorite things about these movies is those dino scenes that are filled with tension. That is something Spielberg did very well in the first one. Not so well in the second one, except for that field bit, I think. But it works again in 3, and it works here. There's some really tense moments. And the Indominus Rex, I remember being like, all right, so that's how you make something scarier than a T-Rex, man. And then they keep trying to do that in these movies, and to varying degrees of success. And we'll get to that. But overall, I really love this movie. This one feels the closest to me to the spirit of the original. I love seeing the park. I love the special effects. I love Blue. Honestly, you're my boy, Blue. I love Blue so much. I went from hating, like being terrified of raptors, to actually really thinking this one was adorable. And then her kid later on is even more adorable. But I would give this one, I'm going to give this one an enthusiasm. I'm going to give it a 4.5. 4.5, actually. I think it's second best of the franchise. So I'll give it a 4.5. That's higher than I initially thought, but I've talked myself into it. Just seeing the park in action. When those kids are in that bubble, right? Like, that's some tense shit, man. I don't know. I really liked it. So, yeah, 4.5. What do you think, Fable?
Man, that popcorn that you gave us is really good, dude.
It really is.
I'm right there with you once again, my friend. I remember going to see this one in the theater. I was excited. I wasn't excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to be disappointed. Right? I've already come off of the original trilogy. Really, only liked the first at the time. Now I like part 3 a lot better. But anyway, just memories of those 2 sequels was like, they can't disappoint me any more than I'm already, expecting. Plus, dinosaurs. That's gonna be fun. And I ended up really enjoying the movie. As dumb and contrived as this one is, it has an enjoyable cast. Like you said, I love Bryce Dallas Howard. I like Chris Pratt. I think they bring a presence. I also like that they carried them over for 3 movies instead of what they had to do in the first 3. You know what I mean? Like this core cast stays together throughout. I like Vincent D'Onofrio. This is Vincent D'Onofrio, who I love. So yeah, I like Blue. I like that it paid a lot of homage to the first movie, but also try to do something. Also try to like take what would have happened anyway and just explore that idea. Yeah, we're going to engineer dinosaurs. Yeah, we're going to try to make them scarier. Yeah, Why not use fucking raptors as weapons? Why not? I mean, it's dumb, sure, but fuck it. I mean, there's a lot of dumb shit going on in the real world, guys. Let's be real honest here. It's not that far fetched that we could put some, fucking head devices. And like you said, Dino Riders. I mean, come on. We were getting dangerously close to that. But yeah, overall, I thought that it was a fun movie. And from a technical aspect, I thought it was pretty freaking amazing. That ball scene, that clear ball scene, that was fucking awesome special effects, dude. Like really good shit. Like I don't know how they achieved half of that, and it was also tension filled, which I loved. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4.
Heck yeah, a 4 from
Nice.
Fable. What about you, Joe? What are you thinking?
I'm right there with you, Fable. It's I really enjoyed Jurassic World: The Park Awakens. It's
Yeah.
That's what this is. Yes.
it's like it's not like personally what I would want if someone asked me out of a sequel or relaunch of the Jurassic franchise, but it's the smart relaunch of the franchise. If you're going to do it, and that's what they did. It's like if you're going to reboot something like Jurassic Park, you have to see the park. You have to put the money into it. You have to see dinosaurs you haven't seen before. It looks big. It feels big. It feels much bigger than the original trilogy. You have this packed park. It's all these people. Like, even when the T-Rex is like storming down like San Diego, there's no one fucking there. It's like it's really sparsely, when you really look at it, it's just like a soundstage that's like got like a few dozen people on it. But like this really felt expensive. It felt like they put the money in. There's a lot of contrivances. There's a lot of stupid shit. There's a lot of like, we create new dinosaurs every movie because if we use actual existing dinosaurs, people can more easily make bootleg toys. So that's why they started, making sure that they had unique dinosaurs that weren't real so they could fight against bootleg toys. So, you have issues like that are just stupid. And it's like you're doing this in a movie, just like the irony of doing that for your Jurassic Park movie. It's so silly, but and again, like it's silly with the raptor trailer, like all this stuff, but like that's what audiences want. That's how you hook people back in. So I was hopeful, sort of like with The Force Awakens, that once it was rebooted, we got everyone around there, but very similar to The Force Awakens. What was it? To quote Prometheus, we were wrong. We were so wrong. but yes. So for this though, I will give it a 4. You digs.
All right, 4 out of 5 from Joe, 4 from Fable, a 4.5 from me. I got very enthusiastic during my rating. What about you, Omar? What you thinking?
I think by the time this movie came out, I had lost faith in the franchise, and even though it had been so long, the magic of dinosaurs had been taken away. There were no more brontosauruses. Pluto wasn't a planet anymore, and now I'm finding out pterodactyls. All around bad news. But I don't know. My brothers went to go see it, and they were like, "Dude, you got to go see it. It's not as good as the original, but it's still good." So I went to go see it. I think the second week it was out, and yeah, you all said everything that I did enjoy about it. Like the special effects were great. Suspending my disbelief that Chris Pratt could command velociraptors. Sure. At least he's not talking to them. That could be worse.
I've learned a secret watching these movies. All you got to do is this, right? You just
I've tried that with my kids. It doesn't work. And this is another one of the movies that also had like one of those that's not fair deaths with the lady that was watching the two kids, right? And she got it rough, man. You're like, oh, she's gonna get eaten by that bird. Nope. Man, that was a good death. I like that.
Yeah, that was a really good one because it came out of nowhere. And it was just
because
like,
she was, she's just watching the kids. She's not a bad person.
Right.
No, it was a fun script, and you're right. I think it was Robbie that said it. It showed us what Jurassic Park was supposed to be like, right? Would people be going to it realistically? Dude, after 2020, I think anything is possible for people to be doing that. I didn't like, you know what I'm saying?
I'd probably go. Oh my!
Pre-pandemic, I would have been like, no, this is so stupid. No one's gonna go to an actual park with dinosaurs, knowing these motherfuckers can eat you. Now, you know what? It would sell out day one. I
well,
think
none of us would realistically be able to go there if that thing existed, because those tickets would be like 10.
well,
grand.
we'll have a coupon day.
we'll have some kind of lottery day for the poor folks like us. But that people would still be getting eaten like 5 times a month, and people be like, that's not that bad though. Like,
5 people, it's not terrible.
5 people is not that bad. It's worth to see a Stegosaurus. I give it a 4.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Seems pretty consistent so far. What about you, Brooks?
Yeah, like I remember when this movie came out too, and I really liked it when I first saw it. And on the rewatch, it still holds up pretty well. Like, it does feel very much like a retread of the first one in a lot of ways. Joe kind of made the Force Awakens comparison, which I think is pretty apt. This movie does kind of feel like that. Like it's trying to just like, it's kind of setting the foundations for a new franchise while still kind of trying to keep like, aspects of the old franchise in it, but, trying to make it a new thing. And, it's kind of it's trying to bump up the whole message of hubris. It's like now, like at first, like the whole idea of bringing dinosaurs back was like wild, but now it's like, now we're creating new kinds of dinosaurs. We're creating fucking invisible dinosaurs. And like, it's a fun movie. Like, it does have some dumb stuff in it. Like, I think like I've always found the whole being able to hold your hand out to a raptor thing to kind of like take the piss out of the raptors a little bit. Like, so all you had to do the whole time, all the dudes had to do the whole time was just hold their hand out, and the raptors.
Well, he imprinted on them when they were born, so there is that, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's still pretty dumb, but like, it is fun watching him on the ATV riding with the raptors through the jungle and shit. So yeah, it's a fun movie. Like, it's a good restart, I think. Like, it's a good kind of reimagining of the first movie. So I'd say it's a 4 too. Like, it's not nowhere near the first, but at this point it's like, we all know that we're never getting the first Jurassic Park again. That time has come and gone.
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of appreciate what you get.
yeah, exactly, man. So 4 from everybody but me. I gave it more of an enthusiastic 4.5. Mostly to justify what's about to start happening, because I think this is where me and Joe and Fable, where I start kind of swerving away from y'all. Maybe we'll see. I'm pretty sure. So that's a PCP average of like 4.169. I think sounds good for that. So that's good.
Works. That works.
All right, 3 years later, because that was so successful, Universal decided to spend about $400 million on the next one. And it made $1.3 billion. So another smash hit, not as big as Jurassic World. That's usually how it goes with sequels, Usually number 2 steps down just a little bit. I watched this when it came out, and I remember at the time being like, this movie is dumb, but it's kind of fun. And I like seeing the dinosaurs eat these rich fucking asshats in that auction at the end, right? And I loved how it set up the ending where the dinosaurs were now loose, because that's kind of what I always wanted ever since I was a kid. The promise of Jurassic Park was that they would eventually get loose, right? Mm-hmm. And we've one T-Rex so far, but I like the ending. When I rewatched it, I mean, I liked it even more, man. Like, I am exhilarated with the fucking volcano and the island blowing up, and that whole goddamn sequence where they're trying to outrun all that destruction and all those dinosaurs and just the chaos of that. I find that so fucking awesome. I think the Indoraptor is one of the scariest things I have ever seen on film, bro. Like, it just looks evil, right? It looks like something out of like a fantasy fucking movie, dude. And it can just snatch you up and shit, bruh. That Indoraptor gives me the fucking willies like crazy, dude. I was like getting fucking anxious watching this fucking movie in my apartment, man. Just like, oh no. So I really like this movie. I know it's not the greatest and it's kind of dumb, but man, it's got a great cast. It's got what's the dude's name? He played Capote in that fucking movie. He played Zola.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember.
Oh, like Toby Jones or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Man, I love this movie. I love that the doctor who was the genetic engineer in the first one comes back, and he's like the one legacy actor that's in all of them. In this one, you get like one little bit about with Ian Malcolm, but it's just like just to kind of have him in there, right? But I actually like it. I think it has a good pace. I think it's fun. I like the relationship of Chris Pratt with Bryce Dallas Howard in this film. I do think it's silly that I get what they are doing, because in that first movie in Jurassic World, Chris Pratt's working so hard to go against his natural tendency to be goofy and try to be hardcore and like a little bit more badass. Here he is more goofy and jokey, and it's obviously because of the success of his career as it continued on, right? Especially post Guardians, right? So I really like this movie. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give Fallen Kingdom a 4. I don't think it is a 4 movie if I was writing like a paper for fucking college, but I'm judging it on my experience with the movie. I love it. I think it's the best part 2 of the Jurassic franchise. So I'll give it a 4. What about you, Fable? What do you think?
You got any soda to go with that popcorn, dude? I enjoyed this one too.
What?
Yeah, no, I did. I did enjoy it. For the same reasons Robbie said. I still like Bryce Dallas Howard. I still like Chris Pratt. This is basically a boy and his dinosaur, right? He's trying to get back little Blue.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's trying to save his buddy. It also becomes a little more dumb. It becomes a little more contrived. It does get a little more goofy, but I like the aspect of Dino Mansion, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know if you guys ever played Dino Crisis on the PlayStation.
Yes.
So, this is like a Resident Evil game with dinosaurs in it, and I can't escape how dumb it is, but I still like it. I don't know what it is. It's
and
goofy.
also, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time we learned that Hammond had a partner?
Yeah, for sure.
That's 100%. Came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of these things, but they, again, they continue, even though it's dinosaurs on the loose, how we're going to get out of this jam, which is the thing of every movie. It still continues the narrative thread of what happens when the black market gets their hands on these things and the genetic and all that stuff. It at least tries to do something a little different, and I got to give it a little bit of a score, a little bump, just for trying to not just be Jurassic Park 3 all over again, right? Because Jurassic Park 3 is what you would expect for all of this shit, even though I do like Jurassic Park 3, but it's just a romp. No, this one tried to tell a little bit of story, try to connect the dots of the next evolution of what would happen if these things got in the wrong hands. So I like it for that. I like the cast. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Hell yeah, 3.5. I'm liking how this is going. Joe, what do you think?
I'm right there with you, Fable. It's trying to do something different that, like, you really can't say about the 2 movies that come after this one. Like, it pulls a Psycho and is just a different movie. Like halfway through the movie, it's just like, oh, This is what we're doing? Like,
Right.
it's crazy. It's like Haunted Dino Mansion. The
Right,
fucking
hell
like the
yeah.
dinosaur stalking the girl in the bedroom stuff. It's like, what are we fucking doing? What is this franchise? What's going on? But like, because of everything that came before this and after this, this is absolutely the best second Jurassic Park movie or Jurassic franchise. I think it's a better sequel than The Last Jedi.
I would agree.
I mean, there's not a lot like, yeah, like all those scenes. It's mostly the haunted house auction that really gets us up. Like the volcano going up. Like there's some really cool action set pieces, but then when the movie goes completely off the rails. And Bryce Dallas Howard's just like, no, we can't let anyone die. We have to save the dinosaurs, and we watch them immediately murder people. Like, she is the immediate cause of death for multiple people after her whole big thing about, like, no one can ever die. And it's so funny. And I don't think that's what they wanted to do. But the stuff that's bad is so fucking funny in this movie.
Yes.
I laughed more watching this one probably than any of them. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Yes. I am feeling the vibes tonight,
Yeah,
man.
John. Hold on. Where's John?
It's not going to stay this way, man. I think that pigeon touched us just going up there together. The giant pigeon. What about you, Omar? What you think about Fallen Kingdom?
No, I do not agree. I'm all for fun movies. But, you know, I like 3, and I liked the second one. I think this one was just stupid. Like, I think that's what it was, too stupid. But the problem with that is it can be fun if it doesn't take itself too seriously. But it does take itself too seriously. And just like Robbie was disappointed with Spielberg, actually, the three of you were disappointed when Spielberg directed the Jurassic Lost World.
Yeah.
I was surprised by the director because he had done The Orphanage, which I love that movie. But this movie had the Dinosaur Protection Advocacy Group. What? That's just ignorant. Like, I will say Bryce Dallas Howard, you know, she definitely bumped this movie up a point more than I was going to give it on rewatch, because this is the second time I've seen it. I've only seen it one time. Yeah, I don't know. It did very little for me. Like the plot is just as ridiculous as, you know, the one from the third movie. Like, hey, I need your help retconning this guy. You know, like there's more dinosaurs on this island, and there's also a volcano. So they're just throwing that element there. Visually, it was pretty. I will say that it was pretty. And but yeah, it was dumb. Like not the worst, but 2 out of 5 for me.
All right, a 2 from Omar. All right, Brooks, what about you? What you think about the Kingdom of the Fallen?
Yeah, like I remember I saw this one in the theaters with you and Mike, and I think it was Alicia at the time. And like I remember, like, you know, being like, yeah, it's all right. And you know, I kind of still feel that way, but like, you know, it's probably my least favorite out of the entire franchise, to be honest. That being said, it's still not terrible. Like, you know, I didn't hate watching it, but you know, it does have a lot of dumb shit in it. Like, you know, as much as I love watching Owen like trying to flop away from the lava, like, you know, it gets a little too close to him. I think, like, you know, it's kind of like my suspension of disbelief gets tested in this movie at certain points. Yeah, but like, and I think, like, you know, the cast, like, you know, they try to introduce some new characters, but they never really flesh them out. Like, you know, aside from Owen and Claire, like, you know, it's like they have the, you know, the girl with the glasses and the computer dude, but like, they never really get, too fleshed out. They're kind of just like, caricatures almost. But yeah, I'd give this one 2.5. Like, as far as like, I'm kind of grading it on like, the Jurassic Park curve. Like under normal strings, I'd probably give it a 3, but like, as part of the franchise, I'd probably say it deserves to be a little below the other one. So I'll give it 2.5.
All right, a 2.5 from Brooks, a 2 from Omar, 3.5 from Joe and Fable, and a 4 from me. That's a PCP average of well, I think it's going to be a 3. I'm going to say that's a 3.
Okay.
I like this method. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is how we do. Yeah, that's I'm really surely the roads are about to diverge. Where did Brooks go? The paths are about to diverge, I think, between the three of us. I don't know. Maybe not. Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion is the next film. Came out in 2022. Had to deal with the pandemic delay. Just keep an eye for when Brooks comes back. It would cost about $465 million to make. It made just barely over $1 billion. So they're still making a lot of money. People love dinosaurs, and it seems like the audience is responding to the Jurassic World movies as a franchise better than they did Jurassic Park, right? So I did not watch Jurassic World Dominion in the theater when it first released. So I have never seen it. So this was my first time watching it. And after rewatching Jurassic World and rewatching Fallen Kingdom, I was down to watch Dominion. And this movie is the fucking worst. This, to me, is the worst of the franchise because as dumb as all of these movies can be, they're not really often boring, right? This movie is boring as hell to me. It is so dull and it's so long. And my dumbass went online, which one to watch, the theatrical or the extended? And they were like, watch the extended. It's better. It corrects pacing issues. Bruh, if this corrects pacing issues from the theatrical cut, which is like 14 minutes shorter, I don't give a fuck, dude. This movie sucked. And like so much promise because it brings back Sam Neill, brings back Laura Dern, brings back Jeff Goldblum. For what, man? What's this locust fucking plot, dude? Right? What's this locust plot? This movie is not a Jurassic movie. This movie is it's a wannabe James Bond, Jason Bourne, Fast and Furious kind of movie. Even the music no longer sounds like that awe-inspiring John Williams-esque score of wonder and amazement and also terror and fright and suspense, right? It doesn't do that anymore. It's just your generic modern day action movie music. It sounds like Fast and Furious or some shit, dude. And it takes me out. Like, I get it. It's got some thrilling action sequences, dinosaurs through the city. He's on his motorcycle, whatever. But I'm just like, why is it I don't know, man. I don't know. One thing I really like about this movie, that bird looking fucking thing with those long ass claws. I fucking love that shit. And that scene, when she's under the water, fuck, dude. Fuck. The way it just kills that deer. Fuck. Dude, it scares the hell out of me, dude. Thinking about it. But the movie fucking sucks, man. It's so boring. It takes 2 hours to bring these two stories together. And the villain's crazy. And there are moments like when Sam Neill and Laura Dern are in that building and they're like trying to sneak around and find a lab and all that shit. I feel like this is a Woody Allen movie. Why are we acting like this? This is so fucking weird. I did not like it at all. I'm giving it a 1 because they made a movie and it's got some dinosaurs and it was kind of scary in a couple bits. I'll give it a 1. What about you, Fable?
Yeah, it definitely is a step off from the Fallen Kingdom. Definitely a step down from there. I'm gonna take what Omar said about Fallen Kingdom and apply it here, because he said that Fallen Kingdom could have been fun, but they take it too seriously. I didn't get that from Fallen Kingdom. I got that they were totally understanding what they were doing, the silly shit they were doing. Now this movie tries to take itself way too serious, and it's all over the place. It doesn't know
Yeah.
what it wants to do. Like it doesn't know if it wants to be another Jurassic Park movie. It doesn't know if it wants to be a globe trotting like Indiana Jones type of film. It doesn't know if it tries to continue the damn plot threads of the implications of dinosaurs living amongst humans and stuff. I agree, Robbie. The locust thing was what the fuck is this? How did we get off of dinosaurs and get on these
Yeah.
stupid mutant locusts? And all an excuse really to bring these two casts together, really. And that's probably my favorite part is when they finally get together, when they finally all get trapped. But yeah, it is. It's annoying in a certain way. Like when they introduce villains in this one, it's like, look at me, I'm a cool ass villain, like a Bond villain, like Robbie said. Like the lady who flies the plane, she always got her fucking hair on the side of her eye and shit. I thought that was so stupid. Like, get the fucking hair out of your eye. Or the Asian lady that was the leader of whatever, that you can't believe she's the leader of anything. I don't understand how she's.
I did like the pilot though. I did kind of like her, and dude, it just made me think that
You liked Han Solo in the movie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she came off way too cool for school. I think all of the characters did, and yeah, that villain, that guy reminds me of the guy who runs Apple now. I forgot the guy's name who runs Apple. Not Steve Jobs, the other guy.
What, like Tim Cook or whatever?
Tim Cook. He looks just like Tim Cook, dude. Exactly. And when he throws that fit, like oh my god, this is ridiculous. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna go as low as Robbie because there's still some fun to be had. There's still some action set pieces to amaze at. I do like that dinosaur with the claws, like you said. I think he's pretty badass. Which is like what they're supposed to fucking look like, right? Like that's
it was supposed to be closer, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 2. I want to say 2.5, but nah, 2. 2 is good.
All right, 2 from Fable.
Yeah.
1 from me. What about you, Joe? What do you think about Dominion?
I'm right there with you guys. This is a really bad movie, guys. The movie does some of the things I hate the most. Like this, if you were going to do this movie, this needed to be like the first Jurassic World. You don't wait till your third one to be like, let's have the old cast meet the entire new cast. Like, no, like you needed to. One thing that Star Wars kind of understood, it's like you need to do the passing the torch thing early. And then you can have people come back, make appearances and stuff. And this here just was like, Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum are 70 plus. They're not coming out to do this, guys. Like, they're just not. Like, Laura Dern is pushing it in her 50s.
Yeah.
But
Jeff Goldblum was the same age that what's his name? Richard Attenborough was in the first Jurassic movie.
That's so crazy.
Right?
That is. It's really crazy. But yeah, it's just like, no. Like there's no, it's again, it's silly, but not in like a fun way. It's like dinosaurs chasing you through like Malta. It's like, what are we doing? Like, this is the stupidest fucking thing. It's filled with garbage dialogue.
The Rock to crash through a wall just randomly during that.
and it's full of all, like, it's one of those scripts that feels like, did you just like have a copy of, Save the Cat next to you and you're going like, oh yeah, you do this in the movie. Like, it felt like such like on the spot garbage of just like, well, Chris Pratt's gonna meet Sam Neill, so let's have them compliment each other. Like, they do all the shit like, I thought you were cool. I thought you were cool. I read your book. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's so it's like, you don't do that. Like, at a certain point, it's like, and they just did that with all the characters. There was just so much like retreading stuff, and the scene where the villain like the Tim Cook guy realizes that the guy that was working for him was the guy who like ratted him out. Felt like it was directed by Tommy Wiseau.
My God, it was so dumb.
The
yeah.
acting in that scene was unreal. I can't like it. I was shocked at how
you betrayed me. You the whole
a
time.
movie with that budget putting out like you're going to spend almost $500 million and you're going to shoot a scene like that and be like, I think we got it. Like nuts to me. I'm giving this a 1.5.
All right, a 1.5. This is so interesting tonight. This has never happened, Omar, between the three of us. All right, and Brooks is back. There he is. All right. Oh yeah, Brooks is back now from the land of Mordor.
I like that VHS look too.
Yeah.
That was a good feel.
Hell yeah. What about you, Omar? What do you think about Dominion? So far, it doesn't seem to be popular here.
Yeah, I agree. Finally, we can agree on it's awful. This is an awful movie. How do you have this amazing cast and fuck it up? How do you bring back, like, you know, the people that went to go see Jurassic Park are probably taking their kids, hell, some of them their grandkids to go see this movie, and it's like, and you just slap them in the face with a shitty plot and boring. That was the thing. Like, it's so dull. The pacing is off. They also brought back what's his face, BD Wong, for absolutely no reason. I don't know. I think it, like, I'm very envious of Robbie for only having to see this movie once, because this is the second time I'm seeing it.
Oh my God.
I think it pisses me off. That's probably why I don't like it, because it's such a missed opportunity to have. Sam Neill was like, I think right after this, or maybe before the movie came out, talked about how he had some kind of brain illness and he's not going to be acting for much longer. And I think that pisses me off, because I'm like, oh shit, and you all wasted him on Jurassic World Dominion. No, this is, oh man. I think, okay, I gotta take a step back because it did piss me off, but I can't give it a 0.5. It tried.
You can.
People came together to, like, I'm sure not everybody came together to be like, let's make a shitty movie, right? Like, they tried. Not everybody, but somebody was trying. The actors at least were trying. Shit. This is the worst out of the franchise. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 0.5. Fuck it.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Man. Hell yeah, 0.5 from Omar. What about you, Brooks? It's pretty low across the board. It's a 1 from me, a 2 from Fable, a 1.5 from Joe, and a 0.5 from Omar. What do you think?
Well, like, you know, this movie does have a lot of problems. Like, you know, it does have a lot of problems. This is like, you know, this is where we know that the Jurassic World franchise, this is the death toll of it. Like, you know, you know, it should have been, but you know, it does still have some fun stuff. I like seeing Grant and Sadler back. You know, I like they did the team up new cast and old. I think they took a bit too long though to like unite the cast.
Yeah,
like it took too long. Like, you know, if they'd have had them meet up earlier in the movie, I think it could have been more fun. But, you know, that being said, like, you know, it is what it is. I'd give this one a 3. Like, you know, it's a pretty average movie. I think, you know, it's like, you know, this is the new blueprint for Jurassic Park movies, just adventure movie with dinosaurs in it. And, you know, this one's just that basically.
Well, that's a little bit, the math on that one's a little bit hard. So it's a 1, a 2, a 1.5, a 0.5, and a 3. I think that's a PCP average of a 1.5. Let's just say that. Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Can't be mad at that.
So it made money though, so they weren't done. And just last summer, they released Jurassic World Rebirth. Big story about this one was Gareth Edwards is the director, and David Kep came back to write the script. He wrote the script for the first one, maybe even the second one, I think, right?
Mhm.
It made $869 million on a $225 million budget. So they scaled the budget down just a little bit. Introduces a whole new wide line of characters. I did go see this in theater. In fact, here's my cool little cup that I got. Little
Oh.
Jurassic World Rebirth cup with I got the Quetzalcoatl or whatever the hell it's called. That thing's pretty fucking scary. Yeah, I like this movie. I liked it kind of in the theater. I went and saw it in the theater and I was like, this movie, okay, first thing, I got to say, this movie's dumb. Like, its plot is dumb as hell. Like, I like the idea that, like, the dinosaurs, they're only existing around the equator in certain areas. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, that something like that would happen, right? They'd start dying off in these climates they're not, adapted to live in and shit. And so that makes sense to me. And I kind of like that idea. And I hadn't seen Dominion when I watched this. So I thought the Dominion was this epic, like bridge between these two movies, like show us how we got to that world, right? That wasn't quite the case for me. But Rebirth is dumb. Like the idea that we're going to cure heart disease with a pill if we get blood from the arteries of the 3 largest living dinosaur species on Earth right now. Okay, so we get some more mosasaur action. That's awesome. With that giant bird thing, that's fucking awesome. I actually like the characters because it's funny to me. I kind of laugh at it. It's kind of interesting because you have Mahershala Ali, right? Academy Award winner, right? You have Scarlett Johansson, who I love, and you got the dude who played Scarecrow or whatever in Wicked, Ferrero or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was the same dude until like just the other day, and it blew my mind because he comes across very nerdy or whatever. But I kind of like these characters. But what's crazy is they don't have really a lot. I mean, like there's like backstory that like ScarJo's character had like lost one of her teammates on a previous mission. Ali's character had lost his son or daughter or something like that. There's moments there and they act the hell out of those moments in like just brief clips in the midst of this ridiculous ass fucking plot. Stupid shit. This dumbass family. Like he's like, what are the odds of this? What are you fucking talking about, dude? It's restricted. There's a giant fucking dinosaur out there that will eat you, man. And then the Spinosaurs come back, and when they like that chase onto the fucking beach, like this is what I like about the movie. Like I love these set pieces, man. When they're on when they're like trying to hit the dart and the mosasaur, when they go through and the Spinosaurs are coming and people are just getting fucking eaten and taken left and fucking right. When the kid's taking a fucking piss and the raptors come up behind him, and then that other fucking dinosaur comes and gets, dude. I loved all that shit. I loved all that shit. I love the new kind of like representing the Brachiosaurus kind of bit, but with their weird ass tails. I don't know what that was. I think that's some kayfabe shit. I don't think dinosaurs really wrap their tails around each other like a Dr. Seuss fucking character or something, but whatever. The bird shit, man, when they're pulling dude up and they think they're pulling him up, and then that bird comes up and dude's in his fucking mouth. Ugh, it gets me. And then let's wrap the movie up with the dumbest fucking dinosaur out of the entire goddamn franchise. This stupid fucking big-headed fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Rancor.
Whatever.
Rancor, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That one doesn't quite work for me. But I also do love those dinosaurs that are like following them. Then they're kind of stuck between those other dinosaurs. I don't know. I kind of like this movie. I think Scarlett Johansson is not playing the character right. She plays it too flippant. Supposed to be such a hard ass like leader of a merc squad, but I don't know. There's something charming about this movie. I don't think it's good, but it still gets me in my dinosaur feels. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. That's what I'm going to do. What about you, Fable? What do you think? And also after watching Dominion, fuck. This was quite a rebirth for me. How about you, Fable?
It's funny how you thought we were going to deviate through this entire franchise from one movie to the next. And this is, as we come to the end, this is where we actually deviate. This is the worst movie of all the movies. This, to me, it is not, it is, first of all, it doesn't do anything new at all, right? After at least you could say whatever you want about the Chris Pratt ones, but at least they tried something, this is just rehash part 3 with way less interesting characters, way less charismatic characters. This is to me the worst cast of all the casts of all the movies. I found this one incredibly boring, like a snooze fest. Um, I didn't probably the worst action set pieces of all of the movies, because even like Dominion, as shitty as it was, that Raptors chasing him through the fucking city thing was pretty crazy from a technical standpoint. I didn't see anything in this movie that rivaled anything in the previous 6 movies. Yeah, no, Scarlett Johansson, I agree with you. She just wasn't playing the character right, and I like ScarJo. That's the thing, man. You know what I mean? I thought she would do a great job, but she didn't do it for me. And that fucking that genetic dinosaur, whatever, which not nothing new again, right? There's another genetically created dinosaur, but this thing didn't even look like a fucking dinosaur. Like this thing looked like straight out of Star Wars. And we didn't get him until the final 15 minutes of a 2-hour movie, like 2-hour plus movie. That really pissed me off. That I had to go follow this boring ass family, these boring ass characters for 2 hours to get that thing for about 10, 15 minutes. So it's not a terrible film, but I don't think it adds anything, and I don't see how this will kick off any sort of new trilogy. I don't know what they were thinking with this, carrying the franchise forward into the foreseeable future. This is the kind of like, all right, guys, I think it's time. Give it another 15 years. We'll give it another 15. Like the difference between the Chris Pratt ones and the original 3. We need to do that again. For this thing to become viable. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like a 1.5. It's really probably better than that. It's probably a 2, but it was just the most boring one for me. So for my personal entertainment, 1.5.
All right, a 1.5 from Fable, going up against my 3. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, I'm probably closer to Fable on this overall. It was so boring. And it was so like it was insane to me how they would do the bits that sometimes blockbusters do now, where like Marvel movies are notorious for this, where they build in like a moment for where everything stops so you can laugh or applaud. The pause when the guy goes like, I got weed, you want weed? And there's a long pause because you were supposed to laugh in the movie theater. So that's why it's just silent. And it's like, they're like looking at each other way too long. Like that deeply cynical shit in movies drives me out of my mind. The second that happened, I was like, fuck this movie. Like that moment was like the turning point for me, where I immediately was like, I'm not here for that shit. Like I'm not doing it. And yeah,
just real
it's
quick,
like,
I want to point out, I'm sorry, Joe. I just want to point out Dynamite real quick. The candy wrapper short circuits the door. That is dumb as shit. It's dumb as shit that shorts out the door, and it's dumb as shit that dude just in this super sterile, clean fucking environment, like lab, just drops fucking, I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I mean, that's one of the other things too that really got me. I was just like, this is how we're starting the movie, and then someone's just like, I'm just gonna like watch my friend get eaten and not like actually do anything. Like that was crazy. It's like, this is how we're starting the movie. It's like, oh, the dumbest people on earth just got eaten by the stupidest looking dinosaur is a weird way to start your movie. And then it was like, there's a handful of like, again, like you'd think it's shocking, but at this point it's not shocking anymore. The different deaths, the stupid scene with the tails and all, like it just sucked a lot. Like I feel like I'm gonna also give this a 1.5. Like I think it's, for me, it's Dominion bad, but it's different bads. but they ultimately were boring and uninteresting for me.
All right, 1.5s from Fable. And Joe, what about you, Omar? What do you think about Rebirth?
I don't think it was the worst in the franchise. I thought it was boring. You all just said everything that I was thinking. I have really very little to add. I honestly, I've only seen it one time, and it was when you were like, "Hey, let's review them." And I'm like, "Shit, okay, cool. I've seen most of them more than once." And then I'm like, "Shit, there's more movies than I thought. Damn it, I gotta watch this." This one's on Paramount. I don't know. I didn't have to pay for this one. Thank goodness. Yeah. The plot and the dialogue is stupid, but I think is what Fable said. Is that they've already done all this stuff. They're just throwing in what the ecosystem plot in there. That makes
that's not original because they're trying to cure a disease. That's exactly what they were trying to do in Fallen Kingdom, was get DNA to cure diseases. So
but it was still, at times it was fun. So at times it was fun, and it wasn't my least favorite one, and it was a fun movie, and I'd probably watch it again. So for me, this is a 2 out of 5.
All right, a 2. See, I have so much fun with this fucking movie for some fucking reason, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
I'm glad someone has that much fun with it.
You watched your Minion right before watching this one.
Well, even when I watched it in the theater, bro, I bought a fucking cup. Like, I just was excited, man. Like, I don't know, man. And I think when I gave it an initial review, I gave it like a 3.5 because of recency bias. Now I would sell, at the 3. But like, I still have, I don't know, man. And like, the little kid in me that loves shit like Centurions loves it when they're like, and it's so dumb. The 3 biggest animals, but one has to be a land animal, one has to be a sea animal, and one has to be an air animal. Like, and with their powers combined. I love it.
Dude,
all right.
Dude, it has the same exact stupid scene from Jurassic World. Remember when I told you that this girl falls from the roof, falls down the hole, hops out with her friends and stuff? The same thing happened in the pterodactyl scene. In this one, it even copied the dumbest scene from part 2. They find the hole, they go down the stairs. It's like, if the stairs were there from the fucking beginning, why did you guys even rappel down the wall? What the hell?
Because they didn't know.
I mean?
It
was ridiculous.
So you gave it a 2, right, Omar?
I did, yes.
All right. Brooks, what do you think about Rebirth?
Yeah, like this movie's very stupid. It's got a lot of stupid shit in it. But that's kind of like par for the course at this point for the Jurassic Park movies. Like, it's kind of just expected, so it kind of just washes off your back a lot, like, especially if you're watching them like back to back. And, I think there is a lot wrong with this movie, but, it does have some entertaining moments. I think the cast is good, but like, I think like the family, when the family is introduced, it like kind of takes away from like the mercenary. Like, I think that they should have like, either had the family be like the main focus and the mercenaries, but it's like they try to do both. And I think, I would have preferred if they'd, just given the mercenaries more character development. It would have felt more like Predator, like, you got these badass mercenaries, but they're going up against these dinosaurs, and, some of them get killed, and like, some of them survive. And in the end, they fulfill the mission. But, that's just, it's like every Jurassic Park movie has to have the fucking, like, adults and kids have this little conflict, and the adults learn to, like, better understand the kids, So it's I guess that's why they had to throw the family in there. And, it has some funny moments, like, with the dad and this idiot, like his daughter's boyfriend, who's like this dumb stoner idiot, but who ends up kind of redeeming himself a little bit. But, I really think, I was more interested in the mercenary characters, and I would have liked to have, like, had them more developed. Like, I felt there's kind of lost potential there. So I give Dominion a 3. Like, it's pretty average for me. Like, not terrible, but I would watch it again, but it wouldn't be like one of my first choices as a movie to watch again.
Yeah. So you would say 3?
Yeah.
All right, 3 from me and you, a 2 from Omar, and a 1.5 from Fable and Joe. That's a PCP average of about a 2.168. Doesn't quite make it to 9. So, but yeah, I think that's fair enough actually for these. And one more thing is like, I remember this too. I have different snack combinations that I like at movie theaters, and I switch them up, you know. And one of my go-tos is root beer and milk duds, right? This was a milk duds and root beer day. And I wanted licorice after that little girl eating that licorice the whole goddamn movie, dude. I was like, I should have had it be a cherry Coke Twizzler day. Damn it. Anyway, so that has been the franchise review. That was super fun. And we actually kept that rather tight. Tighter than most of our other franchise reviews. So that's awesome.
Movies?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, because it's also the biggest Raw of the night. So I'm very excited for that. So anyway, Fable, thank you so much for being here. What you got coming up, man? I want you to just tell everybody about yourself.
One collection down on YouTube and Instagram. Nothing going on right now. We plan to return February, first Friday in February, 9 p.m. Eastern for Sci-Fi Fest, which is a collaboration between Pop Culture Philosophers and myself. The first time we've ever focused on doing science fiction movies, so I can't wait to pop that off in the beginning of February with Robbie. But yeah, man, these movies made me realize how get off my lawn I've become in my older age, because there's a lot of ridiculousness, contrived, dumb, stupid shit with all of these movies, even the first one, as beloved as I love it. But I gotta remember that a 9-year-old doesn't see that. A 9-year-old just sees cool dinosaurs doing cool shit, great action, great suspense. And I think all of these movies to a degree bring some of that. And that's why at the end of the day, it's probably not the worst franchise we've ever seen or reviewed. And I'm glad that I got to watch them all so I can be like, maybe this shit ain't for me, but this shit ain't bad. So yeah, final thoughts.
I'm right there with you, man. I think the franchise is actually pretty solid and fun overall. It's not quite Chucky, but it definitely ain't Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So there you go. It's not Hellraiser though. Hellraiser to me is more consistent than other people think. Joe, final thoughts and what you got coming up, man?
Hello. Yeah, no, this was fun. I think this ended up doing better on average than the Police Academy franchise review.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. All I recall is having fun with it.
I came away from that with a better appreciation of Police Academy 5.
Yeah, that's right.
I really did. I really was like, wow.
This Miami Beach. I love that movie.
Yeah. It's actually, I was like, this is actually pretty fun. But no, yeah, I mean, I'm still plugging away on stuff. I have stuff coming out later this year. I wish I could talk about it, hopefully soon, but I do have a short story. It's a 6-pager in an anthology on Kickstarter right now called Horror Not Hate. It's a benefit anthology. I encourage people to check it out. There's other people in it besides me, of course, but like they can plug themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I just threw the link in the chat and I'm going to add it to the description. So if you're watching on the replay, it should be in the description as well. Omar, thank you so much for being here. Final thoughts. Tell people where they can find you. If they don't know, they should know.
Thank you for having me, man. I always have a blast doing these. I am found on my YouTube channel, Near Mint Condition, where I talk about collected editions and mapping and all kinds of things that, graphic novels, manga, and Omni's absolute editions. Yep, that's what I do. I have a video every day. So, I mean, sometimes
multiple times a day, bro. I was looking, I was like, what the hell, bro, Omar?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very blessed to be doing it for a living.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to, right? Like, you got to do it. Like, because how many people would love to be doing the shit that I do for a living? Talking about
Yeah.
comic books,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Right.
it's just it's like I won the geek lottery. It's exhausting as hell, but worth it, man.
Hell yeah, it is, man. You know, I was talking about mapping last night on Rockin' Robbie Live. I was showing off my Werewolf by Night Essential Volume 1. And I was like, look at the mapping. It's got the Marvel spotlights. It's got it all in the right order.
You come
Brooks.
to the dark side, my brother.
Yeah, you know it, man. You know it. Brooks, thank you so much for being here, man. As always, please give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, well, you know, this franchise was not as onerous as I thought it was going to be, certainly, but you know, and I did notice the absence of a certain somebody who
Yep.
has expressed extreme dislike for these movies. I can't say that I'm surprised, but I am disappointed.
I am not surprised either when I got the call. I was like, I knew it. That's why I wasn't worried about having a 6-person panel, because I was like, he's not going to do it.
Yeah, but I just want to know if he's watching. I am very disappointed. But we do a Go Figure reviews, me and this fellow, and we recently did our top 5, where we talk about our top 5 figures of the year, our top 5, or our favorite toy company, and like, you know, our most disappointing figure of the year. So we got that in before the end of the year. So that's there for your viewing pleasure, if you so desire. And I guess if I'm going to close out with a line from the Jurassic Park, I'd be like, "Hold on to your butts."
Nice. Samuel L. Jackson randomly in Jurassic Park, man. I love it. That's a good final thought, man. I like that. All right. Next week here on PCP Movie Night, we're doing one that a lot of people try to get in on, and it filled up so quick. A lot of disappointed members of the Excitable PCP crew, but we're talking about one I've been waiting for a long time. Michael Mann's Heat. Next week, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, and more. Such a great film. Cannot wait to discuss it here next week on Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Time for PCP Movie Night. We're dipping out. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it. Station pop, pop, boom. And for my final thoughts, you can't leave. She won't let you. Oh, shit. That's the wrong Sam Neill movie.